So one of the other tips that I wanted to pass along this morning for those of you who are new to road biking and just getting into the sport, and at a minimum might be in your very first year of riding a bike, sooner or later you're going to want to start getting faster on your bike and riding longer distances and all that sort of thing. And every so often I do get a question on, you know, how long will it take me to get up to this point, or how long will I be able to, how long will it take me until I can ride at 15, 16, 17, 18 miles an hour? Well, the average speed thing is very subjective. It really depends on what part of the country you ride in, and tailwinds and headwinds and traffic conditions and all that sort of thing. The point I'm trying to get to here is, if you're just getting into road biking, I think my first suggestion to you guys would be, try to ride every day, 10, 15, 20 miles a day. Get up to that level as soon as you can. And once you're able to do that, and generally speaking, you'll probably be riding in the same places all the time to get in those 15, 20 miles a day. Then what you can start doing is working on riding that same distance just a little bit faster. And that'll build to your strength and your endurance, and obviously your speed. Your average speed will go up. But it really takes getting out on your bike and putting in the mileage more than anything. And yeah, you can improve your speed and your endurance on an indoor trainer, a turbo trainer, don't get me wrong. But generally speaking, I'm talking to those people who are just starting out, first year out on a road bike. More often than not, you guys aren't going to have a turbo trainer in your basement or in your garage just yet. That may come in the off season, depending on how much you love what you're doing on a bike. But even myself, I find that if I ride every day, the more I ride every day, the stronger I get and the faster I get. But I will admit, as of late, I'm beginning to drop the whole notion of, well, just how fast am I riding? And that's primarily because I think I'm riding with Susan, and that's not to say she's slowing me down. What I'm saying is that I'm riding with a companion now, so it's not all about me and how fast I want to go. So, you know, if you first start off with the notion of, this is why I'm riding a bike, for exercise, and I think a lot of people start off that way, then remember, you know, there's a lot of reward in that. And it'll come, sometimes it takes a little time, but you will find the more you ride, the healthier you become, the more weight you begin to lose, the stronger your legs become. And what I would caution everybody out there is they're still learning to ride and getting into road biking is don't get crazy with numbers and all that sort of thing. The trap really comes from when you're first starting out, that if you were to take my advice that I just gave about riding 20 miles a day, well, the question is, well, gee, the question then becomes, well, how do you monitor your ride? How do you know whether or not you've ridden 20 miles? Well, then you jump right into technology, kids. You either get yourself a bike computer, or you pull out your iPhone and sign up for an app like Strava, and you're able to record your activities riding, and you'll discover how far you're riding. Of course, they're also going to tell you how fast you've been going. And as soon as you start paying attention to that, they got you. So going back to riding with Susan, on a day like today, a beautiful, sunny, warm day, on a smooth road, riding through Madison, Connecticut, dear Lord, if you're paying attention to your numbers on Strava, you are so missing out on the beauty and the serenity of being out on a bike. And I think that's what I've probably done, you know, is I've probably come back to that point where my average speed and increasing it and going faster is no longer an important issue to me. The thing that I really like is the fact that I'm healthy enough now to do this. And to be honest with you, it didn't take that long to get up to this level. As you can tell from my breathing, it's still a lot of work. This is a nice piece of road. This used to be an awful stretch of road in terms of tarmac. And last year, they finally resurfaced it. And now it's absolutely beautiful. Nice country road to ride along. You know, I bring up the subject of average speed and riding with a partner and all that sort of thing. It's a way of getting back to the basics in terms of road biking. And I notice it's kind of even a reoccurring theme on GCN. So every so often you like to reinforce the basics about road biking and the sport as you perceive it. Remind and refresh yourself just how there are so many aspects to the sport that it is great to kind of review the fundamentals, your fundamentals every so often. Susan and I took a ride yesterday, and one of the things that I practiced, which I hadn't done in a while, was staying entirely in the lower chain ring and trying to maintain an average cadence right around 80 RPM. And I got pretty damn close to that. Surprising about that, riding in a lower chain ring with a higher RPM, you're spreading your work out over more pedal strokes, and I think it helps you not only be faster, but it adds to your endurance level. So yesterday we had a really good ride, both of us, and I know a lot of it had to do with the fact that I stayed on the lower chain ring and kept my cadence higher than 70. Try to stay around 80. Yeah, so I think if I wasn't so heavily invested in Strava and the technology toys that I have, the Garmin watch and the other things that record my activities, I probably would seriously considering just not paying attention to the stats anymore. But there is a certain amount of joy and fun in knowing just how fast you're going and how far you've ridden. So, you know, I'm arguing both sides of the case.